Hey, how we doing, everybody? Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday night on the Mashbill Whiskey Room. Thanks for coming in, guys. Good to see you. A lot of people already in the chat, hanging out. Got a really cool show, guys, tonight. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I was off last week. I had a really cool. It was kind of a really busy week. It was my busiest week of the year in for work. I do this annual trade show conference where I'm literally away, the entire week. So I was in Nashville for the week. Worked a lot of crazy hours. Really wasn't able to do any streaming or anything from there, which was, I was able to release like a video or two, but it was rough. I had like no time, but I'm glad to be back and glad to kind of catch up with everybody tonight. Couple of quick one quick announcement I want to make before we get started is next week I realized quickly is my 1 year anniversary for the Master and Drum Whiskey Room. So what I would like to do is I'm going to do my same live stream this next Wednesday. Hopefully, I may start a little bit earlier. I would like to get some cool guests on to thank them for supporting me through this last year. It's been crazy. I'm really happy with the way it's grown, and 4,000 subs in a little over 4,000 now in just a year. I think is really remarkable, and everyone has been so nice and kind, and everyone that I've met. So, so next Wednesday night will be the 1 year anniversary party. We'll have some cool guests. We'll have some cool giveaways. So, want to say thank you to you. So let's see who is in the chat first before we get started tonight, guys. Let's see, who do we have? So we had some people coming in pretty early before. We had Steve A, Rebecca Page, the Whiskey Explorer. Let me see. The Whiskey Explorer. Definitely check out. I think. Let me see. Yeah, you guys have a pretty cool channel. Go check out the Whiskey Explorer if you guys haven't yet. Brian Walsh, Cap and Make It Happen. My buddy John, how you doing, man? Karen B. Ford is in the chat room, who I got to meet in Nashville at a really cool store. We'll get into that in a little bit. Steven Sussman's in the house. How you doing, man? Whiskey Crusaders, Matt. How you doing, buddy? Go check out Whiskey Crusaders on YouTube. Let's see who else we got in here. This was early on, and then the Bourbon Buddies. How you doing, guys? Go check out the Bourbon Buddies. Moose 76 is here. Dram Nation said it's the first time checking this out. Thanks for coming in, Dram Nation. Appreciate it. Dusty Dan, Whiskey Reviews in the house. You guys, I'm sure you guys have checked him out already. Dusty Dan, go check him out on YouTube. The Oak and Smoke Whiskey Reviews had those guys on as a guest a couple weeks ago. Go check them out. Let's see. Who else do we have coming in here? Everyone's popping in. Andrew Spirell, time for Whiskey Wednesday. Absolutely. Scotty from My Bourbon Journey, the legend. Brandon Weiss is here. Jimmy the Kid, Tech 187. Just running through it here, guys. Jimmy the Kid. Let's see. Bill Vogt is here. DJ Beacon, it's Wednesday night. Everyone is ready. Rebecca Page says, hey, it's Jason Jephthah Seed. Oh, my God. Is that my new nickname now? Jephthah. Joseph Brazo's in the house. How you doing? Thanks for coming in, Joseph. Let's see. Bourbon Apprentice is here. Guy Davis, my man from Indiana. How you doing, buddy? John Whiskey Sipper Watson is here. How you doing? I don't think I've seen you in the chat. Thanks for popping in. Peter White, Jay Chung, everyone jumping in. Chris Utroska is here. Let's see. That's a new face. Ryan James is here. We got 59 watching so far. Thanks for coming in, guys, and watching. So as I mentioned, I was in Nashville last week. Got to meet Karen B. Ford, who's in the chat. I mean, super, super nice person. Could not be more than pleased to meet her. She was actually able to help me get a couple of cool bottles from a store down there in Nashville called Barrels and Brews. It's not the biggest liquor store in the world, but they have a really unique program where, I don't know, Karen, you can correct me in the chat, and they must have had at least 30 to 40 different barrel picks that you could just get in the store. They have a cool tasting bar, and the amount of picks they have for you guys to try was pretty amazing. I've never seen that many in one store. So you have the regular liquor store, and then you walk up to the bar, and It's just a row of picks of everything you could think of. They had a Knob Creek. They had some rum picks. They had a Willet pick, a Russell's pick. I mean, you name it, they had it, and they were pretty damn good picks. So with Karen's help, I was able to acquire a couple bottles. So I got this beautiful Russell's Reserve store pick, which actually has the one of the coolest art labels on the back, which is Wild Turkey Russell's Reserve. So there's my man Eddie on the back of the bottle there. This is a Camp Nelson F pick, which always has unique flavor profiles to that one. So it was really cool to get that one. I also got, this is my first time getting this bottle, and it's actually a Willet bourbon. So it's got the famed purple top. This is a 4-year-old bourbon, so it's a little bit on the younger side, but I'm actually going to start the night with this one. I did have one small pour of this, but that was a neck pour. So I'm going to try a little bit of the Willet bourbon to kick off the night with you guys. Get the palate lit up a little bit here. So this is 4 years old and comes in a cask strength, is 124.8 proof. So it's a doozy. And another pick that I got when I was there, which I was really excited, was one of the best values on the market, guys, the Knob Creek Single Barrel. This is a 14-year, 11-month-old pick. I mean, it is pretty much 15 years old. So you see the label there. It's really awesome. Cannot wait to crack this open. Unbelievable stuff. Let's see here. And then, because I was in Nashville, I was able to get this bottle right here, the George Dickel Bottled in Bond, which I already cracked in, as you could see. Full review coming soon, along with all the other Dickel products. So look for a video with all the. I'm going to do the Dickel 8, the Dickel 12, and the Dickel Bottle and Bond all together in one video. I'm going to call it the Dickel 3-way. So that'll be fun. So yeah, so let's get the night started, guys. Let's try some Willet bourbon here. Like I said, it's my first Willet bourbon that I've tried. I've always had the Rise, but let's see here. I mean, it smells a little bit younger on the nose. It definitely has some youth to it. But if you're used to drinking, Rowan's Creek or what's the other one? Rowan's Creek, and why is that escaping me right now? Noah's Mill, sorry. It's got a very peanutty type flavor profile to it, and you can definitely smell this on the nose. Hey, ADH Fishing's in the house. He said the old triple dick. That's right. Karen B. Ford says, anxious to see what you think of the Willet. So on the nose, it's really peanutty. There's a lot of caramel. It's very Cracker Jack on the nose. Very Cracker Jack candies. Like that mix of peanut and caramel. Definitely some vanilla. Very peanut forward, though. Slight hint of like a dark red fruit in there. But it's nice. I like it. I like it on the nose. But, it doesn't have a ton of depth to it. Remember, it's only 4 years old, but you could smell the proof on here. This thing is coming through with some serious heat. So, cheers, guys. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. Thanks for joining me tonight. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're take a sip of whatever's in your glass with me. Oh, okay. That tastes a little bit older. You could smell the youth on the nose a little bit, but the flavor profile makes it seem a little bit older than a 4-year. But again, very peanutty, almost like peanut brittle. Some dark fruit there on the back end. Good mouthfeel to it. This has a really nice finish. I mean, it's long. It's not overly burning, though. Go for one more sip here. Ooh. Second sip was even better. That got really, now it's that had like a strawberry type aspect to it. That was crazy. It's almost like like strawberry jam on like a piece of peanut brittle. That's good for a 4-year bourbon. That's really nice. Now I can see why people go nuts for the older Willets. You know, I still don't think so. I paid about $200 for that bottle. I still don't think it's worth 200, but it's really good. I like it. All right, guys, awesome. So I'm gonna keep sipping on this, and as we go through tonight, guys, as you know, the big star of tonight is gonna be the Buffalo Trace Mashbill number 2. I finally own all 4 of them, so we're gonna do a blind tasting back to back. Here's the graphic to show you exactly what we're gonna be tasting tonight. We have Elmer T. Lee single barrel, Blanton single barrel, Rock Hill Farms, and the Hancock's Presidential Reserve single barrel. They all have, they all have different proof points. They all are kind of the same age. Allegedly, they're in that 8 to 10 year range. Elmer T. Lee is supposedly a little bit older. Hancock's Presidential, I think, kind of gets to between the 6 and 8 range. So be curious to kind of figure out and see, how these taste. So should be pretty cool. Should be fun to get into that. All right, who else is coming in the house? Scott Tannenbaum's in the house. How you doing, Scott? He's drinking the Old Forester 1910. That is candy in a glass, buddy. Richie Z's in the house. How you doing, Richie? Nathan Lecompte's in the house. No Ancient Age. No, I'm not doing Ancient Age because Ancient Age is kind of as much as I like Ancient Age, that's kind of a small batch. These are all the single barrels, and Ancient Age is kind of easy to find. So I wanted to just do the 4, like the big ones that are kind of singled out. Even though I think Ancient Age is a great value bourbon, especially the Ancient Age, which I do have a bottle of that over there. I love that stuff. So maybe at the end after I finish it, I'll see what what kind of the winners are. Maybe I'll throw Ancient Age in the mix and see how it kind of stands up to the other one, to the rest of them. Whiskey Explorer is sipping on Jura Superstition tonight. Very cool. Bourbon Apprentice has warmed his pal up with Weller Special Reserve. He's not sure what's in his glass yet. So as we all know, guys, I want to just take a quick moment just to thank my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, as I always do. If you guys aren't a patron yet, please, you could support the channel for as little as $1 a month. I have a lot of plans for the Patreon page coming up the next couple months to do more on Patreon. Just with my work schedule the last couple months, I haven't been doing a lot on it. So now that big conference is over, I'm going to be doing some kind of more personalized videos on there and interacting and doing some really cool polls and some other stuff on there. So thank you so much. And with that, it is time to get into the whiskey news. So like I always say, get your glass ready, get your wallets ready, because it's time to dive into what is new and upcoming in the world of whiskey. So the first story is actually kind of made me, well, it's not funny, but it kind of made me laugh a little bit because it's kind of close to home, or at least it might get close to home, here in Columbus, Ohio. So that is the river where Jim Beam spilled all those barrels into the Ohio River. One of Beam's warehouses in Versailles, Kentucky, as you guys know, caught fire. And it kind of dumped into the Kentucky River, where significant amounts of fish have died and washed up along the banks. The alcohol is roughly 23 miles in length. And as of Monday morning, this week, it had reached the Ohio River. And the belief is that once the plume is fully within the Ohio River, it will dissipate quickly. Officials are attempting to assess wildlife impacts and fish kill counts. Apparently, a lot of fish has lost their lives, unfortunately. So, just crazy stuff. So, let's get into the first release for you Johnnie Walker fans out there. The third in the limited edition series known as Ghost and Rare is Johnnie Walker Blue Label Ghost and Rare Glenmorangie Royale. The Ghost and Rare series uses whiskeys from shuttered distilleries as part of its blends. For this release, Johnnie Walker used whiskey from Glenmorangie Royale, which closed in 1985. The distillery was founded in 1825 by Captain Robert Barclay, a member of the British Parliament. Over time, it became one of the 3 Scottish distilleries to receive a royal title. In addition to the whiskey from Glenmorangie Royale, Johnnie Walker Master Blender Jim Beverage also used rare whiskeys from closed distilleries, Cambus and Pittiveitch. Actually, Pittiveitch is the same whiskey that they use in Forager's Keep, which was the expensive Scotch blend from Orphan Barrel. Whiskeys from Glenelgin, Ingower, Glenlawsey, Cameron Bridge, and Glenkinchie are also part of the blend. Johnnie Walker Blue Label Ghost and Rare is bottled at 43.8% and is available globally starting October. Suggested retail price, and it's $310 per hand-numbered 700-milliliter bottle. Ouch. Any of you guys in the chat had any of the releases from the Ghost and Rare? I personally never had. Hey, the Bourbon Junkies are in the house. What is up? Graham Young is here. Nick Zangatsis is here. Trevor Wilson. More of you coming in. What is going on, guys? Let's see. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Vegas Art's in the house too. Thanks for popping in, everybody. Awesome to see you guys. We got 95 in the chat right now. This is awesome. All right, so let's go to the next news story, which is Teeling, which is one of my favorite Irish whiskeys. They're introducing their first ever travel retail exclusive. While Irish and whiskey brand Teeling has been pumping out release after release over the past few years, their range has never included a travel retail exclusive whiskey. So Teeling Explorers Edition 12 Year is here. It's made with a blend of 12-year malts and grain Irish whiskeys. After the two whiskeys were blended, they were finished in ex-cognac casks. Only 6,000 bottles of these are available at duty-free stores in the UK in a 700-milliliter gift pack. It's bottled at 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, and priced around $102 US. Cool. Let's see here. Rebecca Page, I think Whiskey Tribe Vault reviewed the new JW Blue. Cool. All right, let's go to we don't have a ton of new stories, guys, but some interesting bottles coming out here. This is the new Jameson travel retail exclusive as well, Jameson Triple Triple. This is a brand new travel retail exclusive launching in July 2019. Triple distilled Irish whiskey made a blend of whiskeys aged in ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, and fortified wine casks from Malaga in Spain. This will be bottled at 40% ABV. I really wish they would bump up the proof on these sometimes. Available for only $36 US. So kind of an interesting blend there. Glenmorangie Extra Matured Range. Now, I've already seen the Quinta Reuben in the store, the 14-year, the port cask finish. I hadn't seen the other two yet. And I think Scotch for Dummies also already reviewed the 14-year Quinta Reuben. It's an Extra Matured Range. They've debuted these changes to two single malt whiskeys from the Extra Matured range. Glenmorangie Quinta Reuben, the 12-year port cask, will become a 14-year-old expression. The Quinta Reuben port finish 14-year now. The cask selection and finishing process will not change. In addition to the increased age statement, the brand is changing the packaging from black to green. The Nectar d'Or, which currently has a 12-year age statement, will transition to a non-age statement expression and receive a newly redesigned label, as you see. The new expression will be known as Glenmorangie Nectar d'Or Sauternes cask finish. And while another in the extra matured range remained unchanged in its production, Glenmorangie La Santa Sherry cask finish does get a new look as well. So kind of cool looking bottles if you're a fan of Glenmorangie. I do love that Quinta Reuben. The La Santa I wasn't too impressed with, and the Nectar d'Or I thought was actually pretty good too, if you like a lighter, brighter, fruitier type whiskey. And last story of the night, guys. Jack Daniel's extends the Tasters lineup with two expressions. So if you're in Nashville or if you're in Tennessee, you could actually try these. I did get my hands on one of these when it came out, the Angel Share, which I was actually really impressed with. So this happened back in October 2018 when they released their Tennessee Tasters edition, which is basically an experimental whiskey range. It included the High Angel Share, which is the one that I got, Reunion Barrel number 1, and Hickory Smoke Finish. Now the brand is adding two new expressions to the lineup, Barrel Proof Rye and Reunion Barrel number 2. Barrel Proof Rye is available to purchase now, while Reunion Barrel number 2 will be available this fall. Barrel Proof Rye is 70% rye grain mash bill with an ABV of 63.8%. The Reunion Barrel number 2, which sounds really interesting, it's oatmeal stout beer barrels, or finished in oatmeal stout beer barrels. Also an ABV a little bit lower at 46%. They both carry a price of about $40. So that is the news for tonight, guys. So let me see what your catch up in the chat here with you. Yeah, I really wish, Bourbon Buddy said, I really wish they would bump up some of these Jameson editions. I hear such good things about the Bow Street, which is their cast strength Jameson, and I really would like to taste that stuff a little bit of a higher proof. Joseph Brazo says the port finish is a great cigar scotch. Oh, very cool. I would agree with that. It's very fruity. Yeah, so a lot of cool new bottles coming on. Nothing super crazy. I did hear that the 1792 port finish, 1792 12-year bourbon has started to hit shelves. Heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. Haven't gotten one myself. I don't know if anyone in the chat has found one yet. I've heard that's kind of jumping around. Another release that I just heard today is Woodford Reserve is releasing a wheat whiskey. It's not to be confused with a wheated bourbon, where you substitute the rye content with wheat, so it becomes corn, wheat, and malted barley. This is a wheat whiskey where your 51%, at least 51% of the mash bill is pure wheat. It's going to have a red label. I'm not sure when the release date was when I read it. I'm trying to think. But yes, they're going to be releasing a wheat whiskey now. Woodford Reserve is actually really doing a nice job. Just Brown-Forman in general has done a really nice job the last couple of years, really extending their line and also making it affordable and accessible. So kudos to, except for maybe the 1910. That thing kind of sold out real fast, so we can't find it anymore. But, yeah, they've done a really good job extending their line and making bottles affordable. So thank you to Old Forester for that and for Brown-Forman. Steven Sussman says, Cornerstone Rye is hitting places nearby. Oh, okay. And is disappearing as if it has Booker's rye hype. Yeah, I've heard that. If you guys haven't followed Rare Bird 101 yet, he got a sample of it. And you should guys, not now, but after the stream, go check out Rare Bird 101. He actually did he is the Wild Turkey Guru. He had a sample of it, did kind of a first impression post on it. It was a really interesting read. Go check that out. Jeffrey Wax says the Woodford wheat is a 4-grain too. Oh, okay, so it's a 4-grain wheat whiskey. So I'd like to see how that would compare with Bernheim or any of those other wheat whiskeys that have hit the market as well. Jimmy the Kid says Woodford wants to occupy the full middle shelf. Yeah, they're getting there, man. Just even at the shelf here at my store, I mean the Woodford is Woodford has their own full side between the regular, just the Distiller Select, the Woodford Reserve, the malt whiskey. Then they're coming in with the what is it? Did I say the malt? Yeah, the malt, the double oak. I mean, it's kind of an extended range. The rye as well. Now they're gonna have a wheat whiskey mixed in there. Very nice. Let's see. Oh, when I look at the laptop, my voice drops. Oh, yeah, I get it. Chad Holly, you see where Four Gates' new release will be finished as Orange Curacao Gin Barrel. Yeah. So Chad, yeah. So we when we were down in Kentucky, me, Scott from my bourbon journey, and also to and Dan the Man, Trout, Dusty Dan, we talked to those guys and they told us, they kind of previewed us that it's so it's basically the Parker's Heritage Orange Curacao barrels that were bought from Copper and Kings to finish their gin in, and then Four Gate took those barrels and finished their bourbon, their new release, their second release in those barrels. So I can't wait to try that stuff. I just got a new bottle of the first Four Gate edition because I ran out of my first one. But we got Rick Haskew just came in. He says, free to me, cheers. Thanks so much, Rick Haskew, for coming in. $1.99 super chat. This is a thinner drumstick, so I could spin it really fast tonight. Thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate the super chat. All right. So it is time to get into our blind tasting, guys. Let me see here. I'm going to unleash the whiskey hats. Forrest Moses says, have you tried the Woodford malt whiskey? I have. I did a review on it a long time ago when it first came out. I was actually, I kind of liked it at first. I was kind of impressed with it. It's very citrusy. The higher malt content gives it more of a lemon type aspect to it. I did not. It was one of the few whiskeys though that as it opened up, once it got like halfway down the bottle, it got a little bit funky on me. It could have just been my bottle though, but the first half of the bottle was real good. Whoa. How do you whiskeys? Asking any other gin finished bourbons out there. I think there are some craft distilleries that are doing some gin finished ones. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are though, unfortunately. But yeah, that orange curacao one. Jeffrey Wax comes in with a $4.99 super chat. He says, "Thank you for introducing me to Fourgate. My wallet doesn't thank you though." Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Jeffrey Wax. Yeah, I sent Jeffrey. Jeffrey won a sample on the channel, and yeah, it's too damn good. What can I say? Really, really curious how how the next one's gonna be. They have some new releases already built up to the end of the year, so they're definitely one to keep an eye out for. Let's see. Okay, everyone talking. So here we go, guys. It is time to get into this blind tasting. Again, here are our contenders tonight. We have the Mashbill No. 2 single barrels from Buffalo Trace. Elmer T. Lee single barrel coming in at 90 proof. Blanton single barrel coming in at 93. All of these are non-age statements, by the way. But so the years I have on the bottom is what, just through reading and research, this is what people kind of think they are. They're in this range. Elmer T. Lee around 10 to 12 years. Blanton single barrel around 8 years old. Rock Hill Farms at 100 proof, the highest proof of the bunch, coming in at 8 to 10. And Hancock's Presidential, which is the lowest, coming in at 88.9 proof. They say that's around 6 to 8 as well. So those are the ones we're trying tonight, guys. We're going to kind of mix them up here. So let me move my mic a little bit here and give myself some room. So I'm going to mix up these glasses. Let's see. A lot of people are doing some different drams tonight. Woodford Reserve double oak pick, very cool. Rick Haskew says, "Yo, Jay, glasses come in yet?" Oh yes, Rick. I have your box. It's almost ready to go, buddy. I just had to acquire some samples for you. So Rick Haskew, $14.99. Thanks for coming in. That's a crazy awesome super chat. Thank you so much, Rick. Very generous. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I have a special. Rick is a legendary drummer in the on one of my patrons, and he's getting this special wooden tasting box that I had created. So he's getting 2 Mash and Drum curved bourbon glasses like these. He is also getting 5 samples from my collection. He's also getting 2 coasters, a T-shirt, a coin. He's getting a really cool gift pack. So let's see. All right, Old Forester 1920. Someone's drinking. Awesome. I'm going to mix these up one more time. So I poured these out a little earlier, guys. I have a little sticker on the bottom. I don't know what's in each glass at this point. So I have some pen, paper, going to take some notes. So let's start off with glass A right here. And let's see what we get on this one. This one is typical Buffalo Trace single barrel. This is just pure vanilla caramel candy. You know, it's funny how they say this is their high rye mash bill, and the high rye mash bill is supposed to be anywhere from 10 to 14% rye. But it's just, in today's day and age, when you have like Belle Meade coming out with rye, you know, their bourbon is, you know, their rye content's in the 20s. You know, this really isn't that high, so it still comes off as pretty sweet. Oh, thanks, DJ. Really like those. Yeah, if you guys are interested in buying some of the glasses, I have a link at the bottom in the About section of this video. Definitely can scroll down, hit the link. There's about 7 or 8 different options now of different glasses with my logo that you can get. So definitely go check them out. Highly recommend the curved bourbon glasses, which are really nice. The Glencairns. And even the Canadian Glencairns are really nice too. It's basically this really nice tulip-shaped glass on a stem. All right, here we go, guys. Yeah, corn, sweetness, caramel. There's a slight lemon zing to this one, almost like a lemon bar. I'm not getting like a high rye content of this at all. Maybe in that lemon is coming through. Usually there's a really like a good rye kick. It'll come through more as like an orange and a cinnamon. This one has a little bit of a baking spice to it, a little bit of a chocolate. Really good. All right, let's go for a first sip. Here we go, guys. Cheers. That one was pretty good, pretty thin. Didn't really coat the palate very well. It's man, it was very man. It like kind of passed through so fast. It just didn't really hold on to the palate there. Let me try one more time here. All right, that one was a little bit better. Now you're getting the vanilla. Now you're getting getting vanilla, the caramel. You're getting some of the a little bit of an oak characteristic in there too. But that one did not. That one's really not coating very well. It's kind of going away really quick. Not too much of a finish. I could see why someone would really like that one though. I mean, you drink this stuff, it just goes down real smooth, real easy. Not a lot of burn to it at all. But you know, typical nice bourbon flavors. Nothing dramatic about it. Just a good sweet bourbon. Hey, Santa Cruz is in the house. How you doing, Santa? Let's see. Rebecca Page. It was bourbon. Hey, Johnny Drum's in the house. How you doing, Johnny Drum? Thanks for coming in, man. I love your bourbon, by the way. I'm a big fan of Johnny Drum. All right, let me take a sip of water here. And let's go to the next one. So if we're comparing colors here, this one's pretty light, and compared to this one, it's pretty damn close. Pretty much the same. Sometimes the color can maybe help you out a little bit. Let's go into the nose on this one. Oh, this one has a way nicer nose. All right, so on this one, you could really smell some oak influence in here. There's a fruit characteristic in here. There's definitely some kind of like a dark fruit type aspect to it. You're getting the rye spice on this one and a little bit of a proof point to this one too as well. But not overly hot. It's just kind of adding to the nose. A ton of caramel, ton of vanilla sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of a nutmeg aspect in here too. A little cinnamon. Definitely some more chocolate in here too. It's like such an amped up version of this one. Wow, so different than the first one on the nose. All right. Hey, what's up, Spencer Mapp? Thanks for jumping in. Cheers, everybody. Let's go on for number 2 here. Let's see what we get. Oh, that one was way better. Way better. That one had a little bit of a bite to it on the back of the palate. Definitely coats the palate a little bit better. A lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel there. Some of those citrus, that chocolate note that I was getting translates as well. Really good on the palate. Let's go for another sip here. All right, second sip. It flattened out. Wasn't as great as that first sip, but still better than glass number 1. You're still getting some intense caramel vanilla flavors here. You're still getting a little bit of that chocolate note, and there's a little bit more of a lingering spice on the back end. So I really like number 2, definitely over number 1 so far. All right, take a sip of water here. If there's anyone that lives in Texas, I forgot to call this out. Any of you guys in Texas that is able to get their hands on the Balcones release of the French Oak. They're releasing another version of their French Oak single malt. Please let me know if you could find me one. That was my absolute favorite from all the blind Balcones that I had. If any of you out there can help me get a bottle of that, I would really appreciate it because I will never see that bottle where I am. So And I absolutely love that stuff. So any of you out there, if you see one or get one, reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter and just let me know. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Todd Korzinski's in the house now. Got 113 in the chat. Sweet. All right, and then we will have some giveaways tonight, guys. So don't worry. Let's go to glass number 3. Oh, so this one is different. This one I'm getting more of an apple note to it. This one's coming off more apple cinnamon now on the nose. Very apple cinnamon is a note I typically get on the Colonel Taylors sometimes. So a little bit crazy. Oh, Johnny Drum is Yana. Oh, you changed your name, Yana. All right. I like Johnny Drum. Cool. Good deal. Oh, my God. Yeah. The nose on this one is by far the best. This is apple, cinnamon, vanilla ice cream. I like that nose on this one. A little bit more of an oak influence. Not as chocolatey as number 2, though. Definite difference. I'm surprised at the differences so far. Now, remember, all 4 of these are single barrels. So, they will alter. I just went with what I had. So, single barrels definitely will change a little bit from bottle to bottle, barrel to barrel, as you guys know. But I just thought it'd be fun to kind of put these together. But so far, out of the first 3 that I've tried, all the noses are very different. And on the flavor, so far, 2 is very different from 1. Cap and make it happen at this point. If we find the French oak, one of us will have to buy a case. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this one definitely has the best nose. Apple, cinnamon, vanilla ice cream, some oak influence there. Really nice on the nose. All right, let's go for the taste and see if it matches the nose. Here we go. Oh man, the nose was better than the palate was. I was waiting for like this flavor bomb, and it's good. You definitely do get that apple cinnamon. It coats pretty well, but it goes away real fast. Let me go for another sip here. Cheers. All right, second sip was a little better. Still getting a little bit some apple, but that apple cinnamon has kind of gone away now, and now it's just all the typical Buffalo Trace, that kind of vanilla ice cream note, the caramel. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was a burp and a half. Sorry, guys. Yeah, caramel, vanillas. That one is probably the oakiest out of the 3 I've had so far, which makes me think that could be the Elmer T. Lee, just based on the oak profile. Elmer T. Lee, I think, is supposed to be the oldest out of them. Going for one more sip. ADHD Fishing says, see if the carpet matches the drapes. Not sure what he's talking about. Hey, Christine Daisy's in the house. How you doing, Christine? Formerly Christine Deems. Christine Daisy's in the house. Peter White says, now I know why I'm trading my Elmer T. Lee. Bourbon Apprentice. What did he miss? So far, I went through the first 3 Bourbon Apprentice. 1, 2, and 3. 1 was very lackluster. 2 probably had the best palate, but 3 had the best nose, but not as good as a palate as 2. So we're kind of teetering between 2 and 3. We'll see what 4 brings. Let me go in for another sip here of water. Whiskey Crusades, do you pick up a lot of grape notes like Dynatap when you were a kid? Sometimes. I'll actually get, you mean like Dymatap? Because that's like a grape bomb. I get those more on finished whiskeys. I'll get maybe a Dymatap type aspect to it. And I gotta say, this thing right here, man, this George Dickel Bottle and Bond. I haven't had a lot of experience with George Dickel whiskeys, but, when people say it has like that Flintstone vitamin type vibe to it, I cannot argue against that. I tried some of this, and in the beginning, I mean, it was oaky, it was dark, it was very good, but the aftertaste was literally like opening a fresh bottle of vitamins. Which I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm gonna do a full review on that. I won't kind of give you my full review right now, but yeah, it was surprising, but I actually kind of did like it, and it's changed even from the neck pour from my first few pours. So excited to do that review for you guys. Whiskey Crusaders picked up all day now after my tasting with Captain of Mashbill 2. Okay. Moose 76, quit grabbing your dickle. I can't help it, man. All right. Let's go into number 4 here on the nose. All right, so number 4 is more of a caramel bomb. This one is coming off as all caramel. Some vanilla oak. This is probably the most citrusy that I've gotten on all 4. So that high rye mash bill, it's coming through more on glass 4 here. Again, it's crazy because this one is just, yeah, man. This one is just all apple, cinnamon, and this one is just completely different. Rebecca Page, so does that mean the Dickel Bottle and Bond is good for us? If you like vitamins. But it's good. I do like it, but I have a couple more pours to do before my next before the review because it has changed a little bit since I opened it. Yeah, I mean this is pure. This is probably the most traditional bourbon nose that I've gotten on all 4. This is just pure caramel, vanilla extract, oak, a little bit of rye spice in here. Really nice. All right, let's go for a sip of the last one, number 4 here. Let's see what we get. Cheers. Ooh. I like that one. Again, but 4 doesn't have a super long finish, but that one actually has a really nice mouthfeel to it. It's stuck around, which is really kind of nice. It's definitely lingering flavors. That one's almost creamy. That one's the creamiest out of all 4. If a bourbon can be creamy, that's number 4. Let's go in for a sip again here. Yeah. That one is just pure candy. That is like vanilla, like a Werther's original candy with a little like hint of pepper on it as it just kind of sticks around, but it's very creamy on the mouthfeel. Really good. It's going to be kind of weird to rank these. Number 1, I could already tell, is out because that one just didn't do anything. At least 2, 3, and 4 had some kind of something to remember it by a little bit. 1 is just, bye-bye. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of all 4 of these real quick again. I'm gonna try to guess these 2 and see how they shake out. We'll see. So number 1 again. I mean, it's opened up a little bit better on the nose, but it was really the palate that killed it. Yeah, the palate. I mean, it's okay. It's a good bourbon, but when you compare it to the other 3, it doesn't even hold a candle. So this one automatically goes to last place. Number 1 is now going to number 4 here. Let's see here. Asking for a friend says, was thinking 4 sounds like Rock Hill Farms. All right, so let's go to number 2 on the palate. That one was very good, but this one is kind of like a small step above number 1 to me. This one, it has good bourbon flavor. It definitely is a little bit more amped up than this one, but again, it kind of passes through quick. It doesn't leave a lot to linger on. It doesn't really do much there. Excuse me, on the palate for me. I mean, it's very smooth. It's sweet. It's flavorful, but it's very like excuse me. It's like a 3-4 note bourbon for me. It comes in sweet, but it's gone real quick, and it really doesn't leave a lingering aftertaste for me at all. There's a little bit of a pepper spice, but it goes kind of fast. So let's go to number 3 here. I like number 3 a lot. Number 3 has that apple cinnamon nose. Man, a little bit of a nutty characteristic, some fruit. And then on the palate, it's really nice. It finishes well, leaves a little bit of a lingering pepper spice there. I like 3. Yeah, 3's good. Between the nose and the palate, I think 3 is the most well-rounded. So I think right now it's going to be between 3 and 4. Let's go to DJ Beacon says gas, burps, belch equals Blanton's. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could guess what these are here too, guys. So let's go to number 4 here before I do my final ranking. Number 4 has the nicest bite to it. Definitely the creamiest. Really good mouth coating. Really nice overall nose, too. It's got a nice nose to it. But as far as mouthfeel and it kind of sticking around, I think number 4 kind of takes it. I like the nose on 3 better. But number 4, man, if it's kind of like... okay, so I could definitely say that number 2 is going to go into 3rd place here. So we have this one and this one. It comes down to 3 and 4 right now. And it's weird because number 3 has more of a better nose than number 4. It tastes totally different than number 4 as well as number 3. So I got to kind of think of how I want to judge it here. Number 3 has a delicious nose, really good flavors on the palate. Number 4, though, is leaving the creamiest mouthfeel. The nose isn't as complex as 3, though. So, I don't know. You could probably call 3 like 1A and 1B. But if I had to pick one that I really like... See, that sip of number 4 just... Yeah, it's a good mouthfeel, but... Let me go back to number 3 here. Yeah, number 4. I think for me, number 4, just because of the mouthfeel and the little bit of a lingering spice it leaves, will take it just slightly over number 3. And I mean just slightly. Number 3 has a better nose than number 4, though. So, all right. So that's how I'm going to rank them. All right, so here are the 4 guys. Let me dip my camera a little bit here. So these are the 4. In ranking order, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So now for my guesses. So I'm going to guess that number 4 was the Hancock's, just because it's the lowest proof and it really didn't leave any sort of a lingering aspect to it. So I'm going to say the Hancock's was that one. I'm going to call number 3 to be Blanton's, just because, I don't know. I've had Blanton's a million times, and although I do think it's a really great, smooth, delicious bourbon, you know, it just doesn't do anything for me, especially on the back of the palate, and it always kind of flies through and kind of flies through the palate and it goes away really quickly. It's an easy sipper, and I see why people love it. So I'm going to see 3 as Blanton's. Now, between these two, I'm going to say that number 2 is Elmer T. Lee, because most of the Elmer T. Lees that I've had have had a little bit of that apple note, which I got on that one. It's, Elmer T. Lee. It's not a super high proof either, but Elmer T. Lee, say what you want about it. But, obviously it's a pain in the ass to get, but I feel like some of them really do offer good flavors, and they're easy sippers. Elmer T. Lee, it's a favorite for a lot of people. It just sucks that you can't get it easy anymore. But, I'm going to give that one to Elmer T. Lee. I'm going to give number 1 for the Rock Hill Farms because that's the highest proof. But I do wish that Rock Hill Farms had the Elmer T. Lee kind of nose and flavor profile a little bit. But Rock Hill Farms, that one was so creamy on the mouthfeel, and it really kind of stuck around. So, all right. Moose 76. Who comes up with these names? Dickel, Hancock, Peter White. Well, they're usually they're usually named after people. So, George Dickel has that infamous name. So, all right, guys, you ready for the reveal? Here we go. So, who here? Who's agreeing with me in the chat that number 4 is Hancock? Who else thinks that this is Hancock? Here, take a look again at the proof points here. You can see Elmer T. Lee is 90, Bland's is 93, Rock Hill's 100, and Hancock's is 88.9. So, Bland's is a little higher, but I don't know, we'll see. All right. Whiskey Crusader says, I believe we're on the same order exactly. Alex Jet says, Bland's is easier than others. Okay, so let's go. Let's find out what number 4 is. Number 4 is... Well, I'm already wrong. Number 4 was Blanton's. Number 4 was Blanton's. Holy shit. Number 4 was Blanton's. Holy crap. Maybe that was a bad barrel or something, but that one just didn't do anything for me. Wow. Yeah, that's there you go. That is a Blanton's. Wow, that's crazy. ADHD finishing. Told ya. He knew. Yeah, that was Blanton's on the last one. Okay. So, number 3 here I said was Blanton's. So maybe that's the Hancock? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to that one. That's Elmer T. Lee is number 3. Number 3 was Elmer T. Lee. Which means number 2. So the only ones left now are Rock Hill and Hancock's. That's nuts. So hopefully I got at least Rock Hill right. But wow. This is crazy. Yeah, total curveball, man. All right, number 2. If this has to be the Hancocks, it's got to be. Yes. So number 2 ended up being the Hancocks, and number 1 is the Rock Hill Farm. So the one that I guessed as my favorite was the only one I got right, which is just nuts. So, I mean, like I said, I've never put these head to head in a blind. Completely just blew my mind. Whiskey Crusaders, well, your descriptions match them. Yeah. Brandon Weiss not looking good there. Yeah, totally not looking good. The Hancocks, man, this one... For that to be Hancock's, that one does not finish like it's 88 point whatever proof. Elmer T. Lee and Blanton's finished so quick and just go away. And that's probably why a big reason why people love them. But I mean, yeah, the Hancocks really surprised me. That was really interesting. But Rock Hill Farms, bar none, was the best out of the bunch. That one had the best mouthfeel to it. It's got the highest proof, so it does make sense. But yeah, really interesting. Captain Make It Happen says, I said earlier that the Hancocks that I got exactly once was amazing, but they are all single barrels. Karen Ford, very interesting blind. Yeah, Hancock's is pulling. Scott, for my bourbon journey, it was. I mean, like I said, these are single barrels. I know a lot of people knock Hancocks; they don't like it. Maybe I just got a good one. This one, I mean, here's the bottle right here. Single barrel reserve. So 88.9 proof, bright right there on the front. I mean, it did. It tasted really good. Uh, Man, I'm still kind of blown away by this, guys. This was nuts. Really great, really crazy. Um, Jeff Popio, this just proves you like higher proof. Yeah, I would agree. I've always said I like higher proof stuff. The Elmer T. Lee and the Blantons, though, yeah, I cannot believe how like blah the Blantons was. Just didn't do anything for me. The Elmer T. Lee got a little bit better. It was a little bit more of an amped up Blanton's, but the Hancock had a really great nose to it. Apple, cinnamon, a lot of good stuff that I find in Buffalo Trace stuff. I get that a lot in some of the Colonel Taylor products, as I mentioned. So maybe that's what kind of drew me to it. But yeah, the Rock Hill Farms, and even if you take the proof aside, the Rock Hill Farms, the mouthfeel, the flavors you were getting were definitely far better than any of the three of them. So if you guys come across Hancocks, which I think is a little bit easier to get than Elmer T. Lee and Blanton's, definitely give it a try. Definitely surprised me. Brandon Weiss, is that a store pick of Hancock's? Yeah, it was a store pick actually, from Liquor Barn. So it was the first one I had ever gotten. So, but I mean, if you think about it, they're all single barrels. So if I got 4 brand new bottles, this could change. I just thought I had it for the first time, all 4 of them. Let's put them in a head to head and see what happens. Yeah, it's a store pick. Bourbon Apprentice says, I've had some Blantons that blew me away. I've also had some that made me wonder what the fuss was. Overall, I'm a fan. Yeah, I could totally see that. I've had some really, really good Blantons, especially picks. So I wouldn't totally take Blantons out of the equation. It's just that, but all these just being single barrels, it's just kind of like it's an interesting way to kind of compare them all. Let's see, Jeffrey Wax. So what is your favorite BT Mashbill family of bourbons after this? I'm still going for Mashbill number 1. I still love Colonel Taylor, the way that taste is. Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. As far as like a family of bourbons, I still lean towards more of those than these. Also, just because of availability, as well. That I think plays a huge part for me as well. I just scored a Colonel Taylor single barrel yesterday, and I already popped it open, and I love it. It's delicious. So, and I would take it over any day of the week over any of these. Let's see. I don't find Blanton's. Hey, Blind Whiskey Reviews in the house. What's going on, John? I don't find Blanton's to be worth the money. I think some Blanton's can be worth the money. It just depends on the barrel you get. Is it worth all the hype and craziness over it? No. But it does have a nostalgic quality to it. There's something about that bottle, something about that horse on top. The marketing. I don't think there's a better bottle that combines marketing, story, and quality of bourbon better than Blanton's does. Honestly, I mean, think about it. A lot of companies, they'll come out and they try to make up their own story, but when you look at the bottle of Blanton sitting on the shelf, there's just something about it that just sticks out, and people are like, holy crap, I got to have that bottle. And it's true. They made the horse pieces collector's items. John Wick drinks Blanton's. So, I mean, as much as people don't want to chase it, if you don't know what you're tasting, you don't know a ton about bourbon, when you see that bottle, there's something that just draws you to it, whether you like it or not. Hey, D.H. Silva's in the house. How you doing, man? Let's see. In my opinion, Blanton's is hit or miss, but I always cave and buy it when I see it. Exactly. Whiskey Crusaders, that's because John Wick is fucking awesome. He is fucking awesome. I will say this, though. One thing that you guys should be watching out for, I don't know if I mentioned this the last live I did when I was at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Eagle Rare, they said, was a little bit of a production shortage last year, but now they're in full force making Eagle Rare, especially Eagle Rare picks. Now, Eagle Rare picks is something that I've never even seen one in the store. I know a lot of people do get them, but I've never seen them. But that beautiful tour guide that I fell in love with literally showed us the space in the corner, and she said that the Eagle Rare picks and store picks are coming back in a huge way. And we went to this corner, and there were literally 15 barrels there that were all Eagle Rare store picks. So production has ramped up again on Eagle Rare, especially the store picks. So keep your eye out for some more Eagle Rare store picks in the near future, guys. Let's see here. Jason is now banned from Buffalo Trace tours. I know. I don't want to say too much about that. You know, that lovely girl that gave us a beautiful tour. But, yeah, the Rock. You know what? That Rock Hill Farms now is getting a little bit of that apple flavor. Yeah, I'm glad I picked Rock Hill as the best one. I still can't believe the last place was Blanton's. That is crazy. I really thought that was at least number 3. Spencer Mav says, I got something Mash and Jerome hasn't seen. Wow, ER store pick is already on my shelf. See? Spencer Mav. Congrats, buddy. So, yeah, I've never seen a store pick. At all the places that I hunt and go to stores in different states, never seen one. I'm hoping to see one soon, though, at some point. DJ Beacon Jason, so when all these store picks are made, what's left equals lower end crap for the regular bottlings? It's not so much regular crap. You got to think Eagle Rare had to take the single barrel, connotation off of it and that was just simply because if it doesn't say single barrel, like, the picks I saw, for the most part, I think about 80 to 90% of the bottles are single barrel picks, but because of the way they dump the barrels into a line that gets filtered and it goes through into a filling line, if they run out, there could be one bottle that gets halfway filled from what's remaining in that barrel, and then they drop another barrel in there to finish out that bottle. That's the only reason why they couldn't call it a single barrel anymore. For the regular offering, all the new store picks are obviously single barrels, so for the most part, they are single barrels. So, Adam Gasson says, still working on getting that Eagle Rare SP for y'all. Cool. Thanks, Adam. Bourbon came in 3. Hancock's came in 2. Oh, okay. So he's kind of filling them in. Bourbon, who in the world put Hancock's above Elmer, you sick man? Yeah. Elmer T. Lee, man, came in 3rd here. But the Hancocks really impressed, I got to say. Let me go back to the Hancocks. Yeah, I like it. And this could be, so my theory is because it's a little bit younger. It's a little bit of a younger bourbon that it just finishes with a little bit more of a bite to it. And me personally, I kind of like that. Not everybody likes that. I like a little bit of a bite on the back end of the palate that just lingers. Because I feel like when it's so smooth, I freaking drink that thing so fast because I want to keep tasting it. A lot of people like that it's smooth and it doesn't kind of give you that lingering aspect to it. But I feel like for a full experience of a bourbon, I want to get all the flavor and I want a lingering aspect to it so I can just sit and just sip it. And just sip it, kind of sporadically, throughout the night. Whereas Elmer T. Lee and Blanton's, this stuff to me is like water. It's just going through so fast. It's crazy. All right, guys. So, let's see here. Let me I'm gonna fix these up. We're gonna do a couple giveaways tonight, and tonight is a pay it forward night. So if you win a sample, you get to choose someone else in the chat to also win a sample. So there'll be 4 samples given away tonight. So we're gonna do a pay it forward night. I did it a few weeks ago, and a lot of people loved it. It's all about the sharing and sending out some cool stuff. I have some cool choices tonight, guys, for you to pick from. So, Rebecca Page, did you have to let it linger? Yes. Thank you for quoting the Cranberries. Love it. Bourbon Junkie says Sean hates Hancock so much he could pick it out dead blind. I don't mind it, but the nose seems better than the palate for me. Also, being single barrels, ours could be lacking compared to yours. Exactly, Bourbon Junkies. The nose on my Hancocks was really good. It was apple cinnamon. And the palate definitely offered something that the Elmer T. Lee and the Blantons did not. It was a little bit more of a bite characteristic to it. The Rock Hill Farms, though, stood above all 3 of them very easily when it came to mouthfeel and finish. So, okay, let's see. Let me think of a question here. All right. So for the first giveaway tonight, guys, is what we're going to do. Let's see. I'll give you a choice after I kind of figure out this question here. All right. So if you were paying attention to the whiskey news, I mentioned Johnnie Walker announces the Blue Label Ghost and Rare. What was the special name that the new Ghost and Rare is getting, named after a parliament? I'll look for it in the chat. First one to get it gets a sample and gets to pay it forward. Adam Gaston, my Rock Hill Farms is the 2019. It's the new one. You guys are writing Royal, but it's not full Royal. It's there's a word that goes in front of it. Dusty Dan said Harlem Shuffle. William Davilar got it. Yep, Glenmorangie Royal. Very good, William. You got it, buddy. William Davilar wins the first sample of the night. William, you get to pay it forward. Who in the chat do you also want to send a sample to? Vegas Art wrote Funkadelic, Humdinger, Trump Town. I love these names, guys. There should literally be whiskeys named these. I kind of like Humdinger. Oh, Killajolt missed the news. William Davilar, what do you got, buddy? Who are you gonna Oh, he's going to Spencer Mav. Nice. All right, so William Davilar, your choices tonight for the samples are, I will send you a sample of the winning Rock Hill Farms, or a sample of the Willet 4-year bourbon that I got. Or if there's something else that I tried tonight that you want to try, let me know. If you want to sample the Dickel Bottle and Bond, I'll give you a sample of that too. What do you like to try, man? Oh, sorry, Brandon. Yeah, in my window, William Davilar was first. William Davilar, what do you got, buddy? What would you like to try to send to you and Spencer Mav? William Davilar wants to try the Rock Hill. Okay. So William Davilar and Spencer Mav, you will get the Rock Hill Farms to try. Awesome. Congrats, boys. Good job. All right. Next one. Let's see. Let's go to... I mentioned a new Teeling Irish Whiskey travel exclusive. It's a 12-year Irish whiskey. What was the finishing barrel that they used for that travel exclusive? First one who gets it wins the next sample and gets to pass it on and pay it forward. Cap and Make It Happen comes in. On my screen, it is cognac. Very good, buddy. John Picard. Dude, John's on a roll, man. He is one he must have the fastest like fingers in Texas. John Picard, you get to pay it forward. John, pick out who you're going to send it to, and also pick out your dram that you want to send to. Try to pick it out to someone who you haven't picked yet before, if you've won before. Blind Whiskey Review said dingleberries. Oh my God. Mike Meyer said Arby's sauce. Nice. I'll take that. Trevor Wilson, I swear, he always freaking win. Yeah, man. Yeah, he won the pick bottle. Crazy stuff, man. Help me out, John. This guy, yeah, Jeff Popio, this guy. He does. He makes them happen. Randomly scrolls. He says DJ Beacon. So DJ Beacon is going to get, he's going to pay it forward from John. And Cap and Make It Happen, you get to pick what is your, what's the dram you're going to choose for the used twos. What do you want? The Willet 4-year? Do you want the Rock Hill Farms? The Hancocks you want to try? What do you got, buddy? Oh, he wants the Willet. The Willet 4-year to John and to DJ Beacon. Congrats, guys, to everybody. Thanks so much for, this was a really fun night. I kind of went a little bit late here. Cast Strength is live right now. You guys can switch from this to go check it out. The ladies love fast fingers. Yes, DH Silv. The two Utes. Got it. The two Utes. Good job. Thanks so much for watching tonight. This is a really fun blind sample. Really crazy. I can't believe Hancock's came in number 2. I'm still blown away by that. But that is the beauty of blind whiskey tasting. It evens the playing field. I'm glad I got one right with Rock Hill Farms. Hancock's I never had, so that's going to be my excuse for not being able to pick it out. But it still even was better flavor than the Blantons and the Elmer T. Lee to me, at least tonight. So congrats to the winners tonight. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Next week, tune in for my 1-year anniversary on Wednesday night, my special show. Going to have some guests on. Should be a really fun night, guys. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks to all the winners. Thanks to everyone who super chatted. And as I always say, it is not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. Cheers tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and I will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Cheers.